Good afternoon, everybody. So, in this video, we will be deciphering how to decide if an item is actually worth the price. So, this is something that a lot of people, I feel, face difficulty with, including myself. So, I put together this little presentation, and I hope it will be helpful to you. So, let's move on. So, let's see how to decide if something is actually worth the price, and especially with this day and age and digital shopping, it can be quite difficult to see whether something is worth it or not, and whether the quality is good and it will serve you in the end. So let's see. All right, so first of all, as a quick introduction, so we just let's analyze our situation here, especially as medical students. So, if you are abroad or you are in a certain country that requires student loans or requires a tuition for paying the college, then that leads to more financial stress, especially as a medical student. You do not have time to work or are unable to, and even if there is a source of income, it's usually not sufficient. And there's also a pressure of some resources that a lot of medical student must have. So, like for example, UWorld, Anki, Ambos, any prep materials for USMLE. They are very pressuring, and a lot of medical students need to have them. So that's also another source of stress. And there's also the temptation to buy treats in order to survive burnout. So I'm sure you've felt this before. Whenever you feel stressed out, you need to feel a little bit of happiness. You need that hit of dopamine, and sometimes that comes in the form of shopping or buying something. And well, that's not a problem. By all means, you should definitely treat yourself. You do need to be more aware of how you're spending your money and deciding what is worth it and what is not, where to put the money exactly. So, yeah, so even though we are in a emergency situation, so to speak, being a student does not mean you have to be bad with your money, and hopefully this will help with that. All right, so we need to stop looking at only the price tag. For a lot of people, deciding whether or not a specific product is worth the price is just intuitive, or by comparing it to other products. But there's a little formula. It's not exactly, you don't have to like follow it exactly, but it's a point of reference so that you can go back to it, and it states that the value of a product is equal to its utility. So how do you use it? Like, how often do you use it? Is it useful to you actually? Times its longevity, how long will it last, divided by the direct cost plus the hidden cost. So to break this down, so like I mentioned, utility is if you use it. So for example, if there is an item that you buy and it will last you a long time and it's of good quality, but you will not use it, there it has low value. And the opposite is true. If you will use it, however, it won't last you long, it will only last you a day or two, then it has low value. And then we will divide it by the direct cost plus hidden cost. So, for example, if you are buying a laptop or let's say, an iPad, the direct cost is the cost of the iPad, whereas the hidden cost is the cost of all the other accessories that come with it, and maybe maintenance and other things that are not directly shown within the price tag. So by looking at this formula, you can kind of see where on the spectrum of value your item costs or will provide. All right, so like we mentioned, it's more than just the number. So like we said, there's a direct cost, so the upfront price that you will pay immediately, and then the hidden costs like maintenance, like I mentioned before, and if it's a subscription, whether or not you will need to uh, reapply, or other accessories. And also there's something called opportunity cost that we need to be aware of. So for every item that you buy, there's another item that you are not buying. So you just need to see what is more worth it to you. All right, so this is another point that's important: buying back your time. So one thing that's, in my opinion, more valuable than money, it's your time. Time is the most valuable asset that everyone has. So if something can buy you time, it's definitely valuable. So if it's something that saves you 30 minutes a day, for example, if it's a study app or whatever it may be, if it saves you time, that's a lot in the long run. And efficiency is the ultimate currency in medical school. All right, so after talking about all this, it may seem like it's so complicated and you need to overanalyze every single thing you buy, and you might get into analysis paralysis. However, we are not robots, so we need to have a good balance between the things. So some things can make us genuinely happy. So if some small thing can make you happy, like a candle, for example, then it is worth it if it makes you happy. Also, there are certain things like good shoes, comfortable clothes, ergonomic chairs, a lot of things that can help you in the long run. And if they help your physical or mental health, they are valuable. And you should be honest with yourself when buying things. So sometimes you have needs and wants, so you need to be honest. Is this a need or a want? And that's not to say you shouldn't buy any of your wants, but you should be aware of them. And this is just a quick checklist or a list of questions you should go through before you hit buy. And these include, will this save me time every single day? So, like we mentioned, time is really important. It's a valuable asset. So, if you can buy your time, that's definitely a good deal. And what am I not buying because of this purchase? Like we said, that's opportunity cost. And will it last through residency and beyond? This is longevity. And is there a used or cheaper version that does 90% of the job? That's not to say you should always settle for the cheaper version. However, if there are other versions that are less costly but still function like at a similar level, then it's definitely worth checking out instead of buying the more expensive option, especially when you do not have the resources to do so.